Hey nerds, Alex here from Nerds Being Geeks, and I finally won my fire badge. Let's get into it. As you can see, I won my fire badge at my GLC League, Temperance, Michigan, the Trading Post. As I always point out, something that the Trading Post does that I have not seen anywhere else in the GLC community is that they 3D print badges and they hand paint them for you. Like I said, I have not heard about this happening before. Let me know if your league does this. Really cool. Man, this was a tough win. Probably the closest league night I have ever had. I've taken fire before and I've lost before, but on this particular week I finally pulled it off. I finally won it. So I did win this several weeks ago. I'm just now getting around to filming it. I can't remember every round, but I will tell you my very first round of the night was against a fairy deck. This player killed it. Yeah, my fire deck was getting destroyed by fairy. I finally started making a comeback with the gouging fire, and we actually went to time. And I believe my next round was grass, so I really lucked out. And I can't remember what my last round was, but me and the fairy player from the very first round that timed out, yeah, we were both first place. And it had to go not only to resistance, but my opponent's resistance. So yeah, we had the same record. So it went down to how our opponents played, basically, and who they played. It was crazy. I have never played in any type of tournament where it was that close. So let's get into some of the things in this deck. So I play this Camerupt, and you might have noticed the fighting energy. And there's two Pokemon that utilize that. So this Camerupt, Cinder Cannon, if I have a fighting energy attached to this Pokemon and I discard it, this attack does a total of 240 damage. That one hits basically anything in the format that isn't modified with tools or stadiums or anything like that. 240 for 3 energy. I just need to have a fighting energy on there. That is a lot. So I played it with this Infernape, which has that Pyro Dance that will let you accelerate fighting and fire energy. So it's basically a rain dance for those 2 energies, which is pretty cool that it does 2 energies. Oh, energy types. Play this Magmortar because 170 for 3 is a pretty good number to hit on a stage 1 for sure. The only problem is they can attack the next turn, but I mean at 140 HP it probably won't survive depending on where you are at in the match. And the classic Pokemon Go Charizard with the Burn Brightly ability, where it doubles all of your energy. Yep, staple card for a long time in fire. I do play this ancient trait Torchic with the ancient trait that lets you attack twice. So you utilize things like the Turbo Energize and the Technical Evolution. I'm going to come back to this though. Play both Entei. You know, this works really well with the Charizard, that Blaze Ball. 20 more damage for each fire energy attached. So if you're doubling your fire with Charizard, yeah, this thing can hit some good numbers. And then the Gouging Fire, which is known for that blazing charge, does 100, but if your opponent has 4 or fewer prize cards, it does another 70 damage. So 170 for 3 energy on a basic is really good. Standard items, nothing too crazy. I play Adventure Bag to kind of search out some of these tools. Fire Crystal for energy recovery. Got balls, Buddy Poffin, Field Blower, Gear, Versus Seeker. Just the standard, everyday, run-of-the-mill item cards. When it comes to my supporters, Clara is becoming a staple in every deck. Cynthia, Mellow Raihan. I do play Lady with any type of Rain Dance Pokemon in my deck. Just think of, pulling 4 energies out of your deck and then attaching 4 energies in the same turn. I think it's a very underutilized card. I love putting Lady in those styles of decks. Boss's Order, Blacksmith, Arvin, Kindler, because I really like that full art that I picked up for super cheap. And it's a good draw card. I play 2 fighting and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fire. Play this beautiful Magma Basin and Giant Hearth. Really great energy cards for the fire deck. So we all know how fire is. It's struggling Pokemon wise. It has some of the best support in all of the format between items, stadiums, and supporters, but the Pokemon just aren't there. And I'm not even playing like the Slugma and Macargo with the smooth over ability. I'm not playing it. I know that's wild to think in a fire deck, but I just want to try something different. Having to heavily rely on Charizard in fire is it's just a huge warning to your opponent when they see that Charmander come out. Charizard's coming. That is your number 1 target, is to knock that out. But as I was going through my badges, I wanted to win the Kanto badges with the Kanto starters. I won my water badge with Blastoise in it. I won my grass deck with the Venusaur in it, with the Jungle Totem. The Blastoise had the Vitality Springs. And now I won with Charizard and the Burn Brightly ability. But I'm kind of over that card. I am definitely ready to get that family out of there. However, I am incredibly excited for the Blaziken that was announced in the Destined Rivals, the Team Rocket set. That Blaziken in there for 3 energy does 120 snipe to the bench and 120 to the active. Reminds me a lot of the amazing rare Raikou. Use this Torchic as the basic and kind of turn this fire type into a spread deck. Basically probably not as good as what Lightning has, but I think it's definitely worth trying out. I know Tricky Jim has done a few streams with fire in that Blaziken. I think they're on the right path. I personally love spread decks. The Lost Zone Psychic is one of my favorite decks in the whole format. The Lightning spread with Electivire is also one of my other favorite decks. So fire spread is going to be really cool. I'm very excited for it. I'm basically just going to gut this and start from scratch when that Blaziken comes out. And I think we might be able to figure out, what cards to really put in that fire spread deck. Like Mahone wasn't playing Giant Hearth or Blacksmith. I think I'm definitely going to be playing those. And basically any of the amazing support and items that fire has. What's really cool about this Torchic is that it's a basic, and you can recur it throughout the game to use TMs like Turbo Energize, like Technical Machine, like Blindside, hit 100 damage twice to the bench. Cards like Crisis Punch, or if your opponent has 2 prize cards remaining, you can do 280 damage twice with this Torchic. It's a basic, it's easy to recover, it's easy to get back into your hand. So I think that could be a really, really fun deck. Like I said, we've seen it in action with Tricky Gym a little bit, but I think by the time that set comes out in May of 2025, we might be able to figure out Fire finally, and finally be able to get away from this Charizard. All right, guys, that is my Fire deck. Let me know what your Fire deck looks like. I'm ready to tear this thing down. I was about to start building the Skeledirge Fire because that looks better than this, but then the Blaziken was announced, and I'm definitely going that route. Blaziken is an amazing Pokemon. Gen 3 is one of my favorite generations. I love spread decks, so we finally might get there for Fire. All right, everyone, I appreciate you guys watching. Oh yeah, I talk about my Fire. I've done it in my other Fire video that was released several months ago, but this deck has been completely rehauled since then. But I use, I'm not sure, was this like blood red? I'm not sure. Sleeves and a red deck box. I love to match sleeves, deck boxes to the type. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. Let me know your thoughts. How excited are you for that Blaziken? All right, thanks for watching. See you.